as the Pirates leave a runner on here in the top of the first in St. George, Utah. Game number 1, the first semifinal of the 1A state playoffs. That'll bring up the Wayne Badgers to bat. Well, we've got a second. We want to thank a couple of our great sponsors. First, the Country Cafe. Customers say that they're the best little cafe this side of anywhere. We serve breakfast all day, all-you-can-eat barbecue beef ribs on Sunday evenings, and have homemade soups and pies. Also offer daily lunch specials. That's the Country Cafe. We appreciate all the great sponsors for this broadcast, making it possible for us to broadcast these great playoff games. Let's get you the lineup for the Wayne Badgers. Leading off for Wayne will be the catcher, Brig Blackburn, a junior. Up in the 2 position will be the shortstop, Jaden Ellett, a junior as well. And batting third will be Braden Bryan, the center fielder. Bryan is a senior. And batting in the cleanup position is the first baseman, Jake Stevens, followed by the third baseman, Regan Bryan. Then the designated hitter will follow Brendan Robbins, followed by the pitcher, Nate Dindy. And Landon Chappell will follow him in left field. Brock Brinkerhoff, the second baseman, will round out the lineup for the Wayne Pirates. So Green River had runners on first and third. Vander was on third. Corrigan was on first. Seraphin popped one up to the first baseman, and Corrigan just didn't tag up. The double play was made, and the side was retired. On the mound for Green River today, starting in the mound will be TJ Hughes. TJ Hughes, son of Coach Tom Hughes, was noted by Coach Hughes as one of the best pitchers and hitters. He led off in the leadoff position for Green River when they were up to bat. And now he starts the day off on the mound for the Pirates. Blackburn steps into the box. This first pitch, just a little bit high, goes for ball 1 to Blackburn. Hughes fires this one way outside. Seraphin able to keep that one in front of him. 2-0 the count now to Brig Blackburn. Hughes fires this one right down the middle for strike 1. 1-2 now the count to Blackburn. On a warm day in St. George, Utah, this pitch swung on, driven right through the gap between short and second, and Blackburn's on first with the leadoff single to start things off. Took the fourth pitch.
Number 5, Jaden Ellett.
And rifled it into center. A line drive, and he's on with nobody out. It brings up the shortstop, Jaden Ellett. Hughes, 4 pitches into this one, already has a batter on base. Hughes throws back to first, tries to get Blackburn. Blackburn able to dive back right before Mendez made the tag. So he's safe. Hughes fires, and this one low and in the dirt for ball 1. 1-0 the count now to Jaden Ellett.
That's just a $50 reduction each game.
Swung on, and that one's going to get through the gap between short and third now. Blackburn goes to third, and he's in at third. 2 straight base hits to start things off for the Wayne Pirates. And on third is Brig Blackburn. Jaden Ellett on first, which brings up Braden Bryan, the center fielder. Bryan, a senior. Steps into the batter's box for the first time today. Hughes fires. This one just catches the outside corner for strike 1. And Jaden Ellett advances to second. Seraphin didn't even try to make a play at second. 2 runners in scoring position. This one way up and over the top of Braden Bryan. 1-1 now the count to Brian Hughes. Struggling with control just a little bit so far. Runners on third and second. Nobody out. The Badgers looking to put some runs across. This one low and outside in the dirt. 2-1 now the count to Braden Bryan. So TJ Hughes. Fires, and this one gets past Seraphin. Blackburn gets to the plate, and he's safe. Brig Blackburn comes in to score on a pass ball. Jaden Ellett advances to third, and the count goes to 3-1 to Braden Bryan. TJ Hughes, again, struggling with control just a little bit. Always a little bit of nerves as you move into the bigger stage. It's the state semifinals. You're playing against one of the powerhouses in 1A. Wayne coming into this one 19-2 overall, 9-1 in Region 20 play. The one loss coming to Valley. They'll take on Tabiona in game number 2, slotted for a 2 p.m. first pitch. Hughes fires this one outside for ball 4, and Braden Bryan will take his base. And that brings up Jake Stevens.
Number 11, Jake Stevens.
The first baseman. Stevens, a senior. Throw back to first. Hughes fires in. And runner advances to second once again. So Green River content to let runners to just advance. So 2 runners in scoring position. Braden Bryan on second, Jaden Ellett on third. Jake Stevens in the batter's box. This one low and outside. This one high and inside, another ball. 2-0 now the count to Stevens. And that one high and inside as well. Ball 3. 3-0 count to Stevens. Perhaps being ahead in the count will take a cut if he gets a pitch that he likes. Otherwise, just try and get on here. Lets that one go, and it's high. Ball 4. 2 straight walks now.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 10, Regan
for Hughes. And Regan Bryan, the third baseman, comes to the plate. First pitch from Hughes gets past Seraphin once again. Here comes Ellett from third, and he's in easily. All the runners advance. Ellett will score. Bryan to third, and Stevens to second. On the pass ball here in the bottom of the first. 2-0 with nobody out. We're going to have a meeting at the pitcher's mound. Coach Hughes will come out and discuss things with his team. While we do that, we want to remind you about another one of our great sponsors, the Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse, located at the junction of Highway 12 and 24 in beautiful Torrey, Utah, up on the mesa, where they have the best views in town. The gateway to Capitol Reef National Park with 50 spacious rooms, a steakhouse, conference center, indoor swimming pool, and hot tub and beauty salon. Invite everyone to come and see the Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse, located in the junction of Highway 12 and 24 in beautiful Torrey, Utah. Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse, another one of our great sponsors, making this broadcast possible. It looks like Hughes is set to stay on the mound.
Well, right now we only have 2. Two left on.
You can see Fred Escalante, the shortstop, getting a little tape on his arm. He's good to go, and here we go. Hughes stays on the mound. 2 on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the first, 2 runs have already come across, both on pass balls. Hughes struggling with control just a little bit here in the bottom of the first. Right now it's This pitch high and outside, ball 1 to Bryan. Braden Bryan on third, Jake Stevens at second.
22-3, but they had to have scored in 5 innings.
This pitch down in the dirt and outside for ball 2. So Hughes struggling to put it across the plate. Most of these things have been outside and in the dirt. The 2-0 pitch. This one down the middle but high. Count must have been 3-0. As Regan Bryan, takes his base. Third straight walk for Hughes, and that brings up Brendan Robbins, the designated hitter. First pitch just in there for strike 1. And for Hughes, that's got to feel good just to get one back across the plate. Maybe get back in a groove here. Second pitch outside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Bases loaded, nobody out. Hughes fires. This one swung on to the shortstop, through his legs, gets to Escalani's legs. 1-1 will score. 2 runs will score. And it's 4-0 Wayne in the bottom of the first after the ball gets through Fred Escalani's legs.
The pitcher, number 43, Nathan Dendy.
So Robbins is on with an error. Bryan scores from third. Stevens scores from second. And Regan Bryan advances to third. That brings up Nate Dendy, the pitcher. Dendy steps into the box. First pitch from Hughes outside in the dirt. Ball 1. Dendy, a junior. And this one, throw goes to first. And they just let the runner advance to second. It was Brendan Robbins, really a play to try and get Regan Bryan home from third. Instead, Green River just content to let Robbins advance to second. So Regan Bryan on third, Brendan Robbins on second. Dendy at the plate, base hit into right field. 1 run will score. And they send him home, and 2 runs will score. Nate Dendy in with a single. A 2 RBI single brings home Regan Bryan and brings home Brendan Robbins. And it's 6-0 early on in the bottom of the first. Nobody out. That brings up Landon Chappell, the left fielder. Chappell, a sophomore, makes his first at bat in the semifinal. First pitch high for ball 1.
That's a speed-up runner, right? That's the pitcher.
And we're going to see a pinch runner come on.
Pinch runner 26.
Zach Davis, a junior, coming on to run for Nate Dendy, the pitcher.
26, Zach Davis.
Davis, again, is a junior. Bring in a little speed-up runner.
I'm good. Yep, I'm good to go. I'm at the baseball game, but I've got everything. I'm ready.
Chappell will step back into the box, facing a 1-0 count.
I brought everything. So, both.
Broadcasting live from Brucehurst Field at Dixie State University.
Okay.
A little warm outside for a fall day. This one inside. Did it get him? It did.
Pitcher,
Just got Chappell.
it's 6-0 in the first inning, bottom of the first, no outs, bases loaded.
And that'll move Dendy over to second. The speed-up runner. It's Davis. Moves over to second. And Chappell, hit by the pitch, is in at first. We're going to see a pitching change.
So what will happen is typically the umpire should wave action or ask the scorekeeper.
Graphics for
Tell him who's coming in. So all this is position changes. So the position changes for Green River.
I'm going to do the
I
Cash
think it's
Valley.
is that number 8? Center fielder
Okay.
number 8?
Number 9. Came
Number
from
9.
number 8.
Okay, so
And while they make the change, what it is they're bringing in TJ Hughes, excuse me, Chance Fander in from center. And TJ Hughes will go out to
Now pitching.
center.
Number 9, Chance Fanders, replacing the outfield by number 8, TJ Hughes.
So Chance Fander will come in to replace TJ Hughes while he's warming up. Want to remind you that today's game is brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. With internet banking and mobile banking, a full-service mortgage lender, commercial and consumer lender, SBA, full-service agricultural, SBA, commercial and consumer lender. It's Cache Valley Bank, another one of our great sponsors for today's game.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 14.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Brock Brinkerhoff, for Wayne. Brinkerhoff, a junior. First pitch from Fander. This one looped out into the short right field, and one run will come in to score from second. Zach Davis will come around to score. From second, Chappell moves to second, and Brinkerhoff in with a single.
Center fielder.
So it's 7-0
Brigg.
in the bottom of the first inning. Fander's first pitch was driven into right field. They're going to throw back to second. And Chappell back in there, safe at second. So for Green River, a disappointing start to this one. High hopes coming into the semifinal here at Dixie State. Pitch from Fander is in for a strike. Brigg Blackburn led the inning off with a single. Oh, 1 now the count to Blackburn. Second time he's been at the plate this inning. Blackburn will pop it up. This one goes right to the second baseman. It's Corrigan. And he makes the grab. Nick Corrigan with the first out of the bottom half of the first inning.
Now batting, the shortstop.
Perhaps the Pirates can now use that as momentum to try and get out of this thing, put it behind them, and try and chip away at the lead. Jaden Ellett, shortstop, steps in. He had a single in his first at bat earlier in this inning. Fander right down the middle for strike one to Ellett. Ellett will settle back into the box as Fander takes his time waiting for his pitch, and then Ellett will step out of the box and now back in and ready to go again. So Chance Fander been a little bit more effective on the mound so far than TJ Hughes was. This pitch high and inside for ball one. 1-1 now the count to Jaden Ellett. Seven to 0 the score in the bottom half of the first inning. This one driven to left field. Nick Schaefer will come in and makes the grab in left for out number 2.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 7, Braden Bryan.
And that brings up the center fielder, Braden Bryan. Drew a walk in his first at bat earlier this inning. That would be the first of 3 consecutive walks for TJ Hughes. Let's see what he can do against Fander. Bryant settles into the box, and Fander settles for the first pitch. This one low outside and in the dirt. 1-0 now the count to Braden Bryan, the center fielder. Chance Fander has come in and record 2 straight outs for the Pirates. This one check swing. They're going to say he went first strike. 1-1 now the count to Braden Bryan. Bryan settles back into the box. And Fander finds his pitch, lets it fly, and just catches the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 now the count to Braden Bryan. Can Fender get his team out of this inning? Trailing 7-0 in the bottom of the first. 2 on, 2 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Bryan. This one will take a hop. Seraphin able to keep it in front of him. Runners don't advance, and the count goes even at 2-2. On first is Brock Brinkerhoff. On second is Landon Chappell. Brinkerhoff had a single. Chappell was hit by pitch. That's how he got on this one. Popped up to the second baseman. Corrigan will come over and record the third out of the inning. And it was a long one, but Green River finally escapes after giving up 7 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. In the bottom half of the first inning, it's Wayne 7, Green River 0 as we head to the top of the second here from St. George, Utah, and the 2014 1A State Baseball Semifinals.
Come on, Megan. First at bat, in the top of the second, the designated hitter, number 00, Hunter Jones.
And welcome back to St. George, Utah, in the 2014 1A State Baseball Semifinals. Game number 1, Wayne leading Green River right now 1-0. This pitch from Dindy going to be high for ball 1. It's Hunter Jones, the designated hitter, a senior, batting for Green River. Second pitch, Dindy fires outside for ball 2. Tell you, Nate Dindy does not wait long. He certainly doesn't take his time between pitches, finds his pitch and lets it fly. The 2-0 pitch is down on the dirt for ball 3. So Hunter Jones, the designated hitter, and if you're Green River, you're just saying, look, we just got to chip away a little bit at a time. And that one high for ball 4. So Hunter Jones reaches by virtue of a walk from Nate Dindy, his first of the game.
First baseman, number 40, John
4 batters came up to the plate in the top half of the first inning for Green River. Already doing better here in the top of the second. It's John Mendez, the first baseman, a senior, steps into the box for the first time. This one high and over the top of Mendez. Ball 1. So 5 pitches for Dindy here in the top of the second. All 4 of them have been balls, and we're going to see a speed-up runner coming in for Green River. It's Nate Cox, a junior.
Number 11, Nate Cox.
Comes in. To run for Jones. So Nate Dindy on the mound faced 4 batters again in the top of the first and made 3 outs. The Mendez will step back into the box. We've yet to see a left-handed batter in this game for either team. Dindy fires the 2-0 pitch high for ball 3. Excuse me, the 1-0 pitch, so it's ball 2. 2-0 now the count to John Mendez. 6 straight balls for Nate Dindy. This one swung on and tipped and fouled back by Mendez. 2-1 now the count. So Nate Cox down at first, running for Hunter Jones, who took a walk. And the Pirates will take base runners however they can get them. This one swung on and missed for strike 2. May have been a little up there, but Dendy got Mendez to chase it. Count goes even at 2-2. Dendy fights back in to even the count, and now it's 2-2. Looks over to first, checks the runner, and fires this one. Check swing and foul. That one looked high, but Mendez scared to go down looking. End up taking a little cut at it on the check swing, and it goes foul. Count stays at 2-2. This one swing popped to center field. Braden Bryan there to make the grab, and he makes the catch. First out of the inning, recorded by Braden Bryan, the center fielder. So Mendez, a good at bat there, went ahead 2-0 in the count. And that'll bring up the right fielder, a junior, Jonathan Salinas. Salinas steps in for his first at bat. This one right on the inside corner for strike 1. And that ball had a little juice on it as well, as Dendy burned that one across. Now he's going to throw to first. Keeps Cox honest over there at first, making sure he's not leading off too far. 0-1 the count now to Salinas. This pitch outside for ball 1. 7-0 the score here in the top of the second. Semifinal number 1 in the 1A state baseball playoffs. Salinas takes a cut at that one. It was down in the dirt. Missed it. Strike 2. 1-2 now the count to Salinas. That one outside for ball 2. Evens up at 2-2 now the count to John Salinas. Dendy fires this one low and in the dirt. Ball 3. Count goes full. It's 3-2 to Salinas. Green River trying to get 2 people on here.
You guys figure it out?
Yeah, we're going.
Here comes the payoff pitch, and it's fouled down the first base line. Count stays full at 3-2. Cox waiting over at first. Here's the pitch from Dendy. Inside, and a check swing by Salinas, and he makes contacts. Mendez did the same thing.
It's supposed to be on KSL, but I don't think KSL has this on there right now.
Full count pitch once again. Inside, Salinas goes down looking. Dendy gets the strikeout, his first of the game. As seeing just a little bit of hesitancy in the at-bats now for Green River, as you saw Mendez hesitantly take a check swing at a ball and foul it off, and now Salinas did the same thing. And that brings up the shortstop, freshman Fred Escalante. First pitch to Escalante, high for ball 1. Dendy throws over to first now, and Cox easily makes it back in time.
I don't know where you go to watch. What do you do on the Des News?
There should be a in the sports. What's this? Okay, now I'm getting
Whoa, watch it. There you go.
This pitch from Dendy, low and in the dirt. Ball 1. Excuse me, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Escalante. Nate Cox over at first has been waiting there for a while. And Escalante tries to lay down a 2-out bunt, misses. And now it's 2-1 the count to Fred Escalante. Dendy fires, and Escalante's going to foul with a bunt, and it's 2-2. Dindy just not giving him a pitch that he can lay down a good bunt. And now Dindy, after walking the first batter, Hunter Jones, looking to record the third straight out and get out of this inning unscathed. This pitch outside for ball 3. Throw down to first, too late. Count goes full to Fred Escalante.
I'm not getting anything.
I'm surprised I'm not.
And a swing and a miss on a pitch inside for Fred Escalante. 2 straight strikeouts for Nate Dindy.
No hits, no errors, and 1 left on.
And Green River goes down, leaves 1 stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors. In the top of the second, we go to the bottom of the second. Wayne coming up for the second time, leading 7-0 here in the 2014 1A State Baseball Semifinals. Well, we got a break in the action. We want to remind you that today's game is brought to you by Bryan Auto Parts and Service. It's the place to go for Napa Auto Parts, new tire sales, automotive service, and 24-hour towing in Loa, Utah. You call, we haul. Customers from Loa, Torrey, and Boulder, Utah, and surrounding areas come to Bryan Auto Parts and Service for consumer tires, commercial tires, farm tires, and industrial tires. It's Bryan Auto Parts and Service, another one of our great sponsors, here for the 1A State Baseball Playoffs.
Coming to the plate for the batters, number 11, Jake Stevens.
Jake Stevens leading things off for the Badgers in the bottom half of the second inning. Stevens, in his first at bat, drew a walk from TJ Hughes. Here's Fanner, fires. This one swung on into the left field, and Stevens is in with a single to start the bottom of the second. So Wayne picks off where it left off in the bottom of the first, and they've got 1 on, and that brings Regan Bryan, the third baseman, back to the plate. He also walked in his first at bat. Vander throws back to first, tries to keep Stevens there and succeeds in his goal. Now here comes the pitch from Fander. Fouled off to Bryan. 0-1 now the count to Regan Bryan.
So are we, is it the internet or what's the deal?
As I can tell, we are streaming, and it's like dropping 0 frames as far as I can tell, but I couldn't get it on here either. But what surprises me, I've heard nothing from the Deseret News that it's not working.
Throw back to first.
And I've got no emails or anything.
Once again,
on my phone or anywhere that's not
keeps
working.
Stevens there. 0-1 now the count to Regan Bryan.
Source and see here, 'cause as far as I
This
can
pitch,
tell, it's going
high, throw to second,
to do.
and he's out. Good throw from Joe Serafin. Stevens out at second, trying to steal. So not only does Regan Bryan go down 0-2 in the count, but Serafin made a perfect throw, and Corrigan able to make the tag at second on Stevens. So now 1 out, 0-2 now the count to Regan Bryan. Fander throws outside, gets past Serafin, but no harm done. They've already got Stevens out. 1-2 now the count. This pitch outside for ball 2. Count goes back even. 2-2 now to Regan Bryan after falling down 0-2 in the count. Vander settles and fires. This one swung on, driven deep to left. It's back and it's going to be foul. Count stays even at 2-2. As Regan Bryan got a hold of that one, but it went foul. Here's Fander. Rocks and fires, and this one fouled back once again. Count still stays at 2-2. Bryan staying alive here in the at-bat with his team leading 7-0 here in the bottom of the second. This one in the dirt gets Pat Seraphin once again. So now the count full to Regan Bryan. Seraphin has had just a little bit of trouble keeping some of those balls in front of him. Now the payoff pitch. This one driven to center. Can Fanner, it's TJ Hughes, comes over, makes the play, but drops it. And the throw to second. And Regan Bryan will be in at second due to an error in the field. A double.
Coming to the plate, the designator, number 18, Brendan Robbins.
It actually will go down as a double in the official scorebook. It was a tough play for Hughes in center field. Just bobbled the catch. And Regan Bryan is on with one out. And Brendan Robbins coming to the plate. Robbins reached first on an error in the first inning. Fander gets set. This one swing and a miss. As Hughes able to get that one. Past Robbins for strike one. This time Robbins sends it right over the top of the second baseman into center field. Runner stops. Thought about going to home. A good throw from Hughes. Would have been an interesting play there. Instead, Bryan stays at third, and Brendan Robbins will be on with a single with one out in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up the pitcher, Nate Dindy. Had a single in his first at bat. So 2 on, 1 out. Regan Bryan at third, Brendan Robbins at first.
How are you, Bart? I'm good. Good. How you doing?
Vander catches this one on the outside corner for strike one. 0-1 now the count to Dindy.
Do you put the games on the arbiter? Does Sherry do that next week's games?
Throw back to first. Not in time. Robbins will be in there safe. 0-1 now the count to Dindy.
I just didn't know if there was anything I needed to do.
Vander. The pitch and fouled. Over the bleachers on the first base side. And the count now goes to 0-2 to Dindy. And if Green River could get this out, I think Fander would be able to breathe just a little bit, knowing there was 2 outs. We'll see what will happen. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Second baseman was playing way over. And it gets through, and then gets through the right fielder's legs as well. 1 run will score. Another run coming around will score as well. Dindy's going to try and go to third. And he'll be in at third standing.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 23.
So 2-run score on the play. It makes it 9-0. Dindy on with the single, advances to third after the ball gets through the right fielder's legs. Jonathan Salinas couldn't come up with it and right.
Are you seeing? I'm trying to watch it on my iPad, and I'm not getting anything on there.
And that'll bring up Landon Chappell. And now a speed-up runner at third.
Yeah, as far as I know,
Once again coming in to run for Dindy, it'll be Zach Davis, the junior.
anything yet, so.
Fander. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one to Chappell.
In the pinch run for the Badgers, number 26, Zach Davis.
I'm having a little bit of an issue with it freezing, but I think that's the issue with this little counter of my setup here.
Hughes with the 0-1 count now against Chapel. Fires, and this one popped up right back to Fander. And he makes the catch to record the second out of the inning.
Coming to the plate, the second baseman, number 14, Brock Brinkerhoff.
And that brings up the second baseman, Brock Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff had a single in the first inning. Looking to add to that here. This one fouled into the backstop for strike one.
All right, I just wanted to make sure that she has the brackets and she knew.
Vander will settle and fire the second one high and outside. Ball one. 1-1 now the count to Brinkerhoff.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Yep, see
2
you.
outs, 1 on for Wayne, looking to add one more to their tally. It's 9-0 in the bottom of the second. Fander outside for ball 2. That one low and in the dirt for ball 3. So after going ahead early in the count at 0-1, now Fander is behind. It's 3-1. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Escalante scoops it up, throws to first. And Mendez, who scoops it, makes the out. And Green River escapes, only giving up 2 in the bottom of the second. And after 2 complete, no runs, 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error.
Check that. 2 runs.
In the bottom of the second, makes it 9-0. Wayne leading here at the 2014 1A State Baseball Playoffs in St. George, Utah. I'll remind you, game number 2 immediately following this game. It'll be Valley and Tabiona. Tabiona coming into that game with a lot of momentum. Lost the first game and then rattle off 18 straight wins. They're 18-1 on the season. Want to thank more of our great sponsors.
Doing the right thing since 1952.
Between innings. Want to thank M&D Auto Parts and Repair, located at 438 West, 100 North in Bicknell, Utah. M&D offers 24-hour towing at A Parts Plus store. You can buy Goodyear tires for passenger truck, farm, or ATVs. Call or stop in for a competitive price quote today. That's M&D Auto Parts and Repair in Bicknell, 438 West, 100 North. M&D Auto Parts, another one of our great sponsors here at the 1A State Baseball Playoffs in St. George, Utah. You have a logo for Sun Glow.
If we can, yeah, we can, in between here, we can get 2 or 3 of them done. Just to run out.
Also between innings, want to also thank Sun Glow Motel and Restaurant in Bicknell. Here's what we learned from customers that went to Sun Glow Restaurant. They said the portions were generous. We were too full for pie. Our friend chose the chicken fried steak and said it was tender and delicious at Sun Glow Motel and Restaurant in Bicknell. Another one of our great sponsors here at the 1A State Baseball Playoffs. Here in the top of the third now. Back to the top of the lineup. Bottom of the lineup now for Green River to be Tyrell Shumway, a junior, leading things off, and first pitch in for a strike. Oh, 0-1 now the count to Shumway. Dendy still on the mound for Wayne. That one low and in the dirt, ball 1. Wayne got 7 in the bottom of the first and 2 in the bottom of the second. They lead 9-0 in the top of the third. Dendy fires, and Brinkerhoff went around on that one. It was low, but, Shumway. 1-2 now the count to Tyrell Shumway. And a swing and a miss. Tyrell Shumway goes down swinging. Third straight strikeout for Nate Dendy. Got Salinas and Escalante in the top of the second, and now gets Shumway
T.J. Hughes.
In the top of the third, and now Green River back to the top of the lineup, and T.J. Hughes. A ground out to the second baseman in his first at bat, back in the top of the first. Hughes also started on the mound, but had a rough day. Rough inning, gave up 7 runs. That one high. Check swing. They're going to say he's okay. 1-0 now the count to T.J. Hughes. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Big cut from T.J. Hughes, one of the team leaders according to Coach Tom Hughes. He and Chance Fan are really the all-around players leading this team. Hughes shows bunt. Now checks that and swings and fouls off for strike 2. 1-2 now the count to T.J. Hughes.
Hang on.
And a swing, and he
Please return all foul balls to the first base dugout.
Hughes gets a piece of that one. Count stays at 1-2.
Hey, can you tell me what a designator is?
The 1-2 pitch now. Hughes swings and fouls it off. Stays alive at the plate. So with one down in the top of the third, T.J. Hughes staying alive. He's 1-2 is the count. Talked to Coach Tom Hughes yesterday. Gave me a couple of keys to this game. We'll get to those just in a minute. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's now 4 straight strikeouts for Nate Dindy. As T.J. Hughes goes down swinging. But Coach Tom Hughes told me yesterday as Chance Fander steps into the box for his second at-bat, had a single. The one hit so far for Green River. Dindy. And that one fouled right back at us in the booth, but fortunately for us, the backstop's there to stop it. Coach Hughes for Green River told me yesterday, he gave me 3 keys to the game. Said we don't want to walk anybody, don't want to commit any errors, and we need to get runners on base. So far, I've struggled with all 3 of those. This one, grounded to the third baseman. It's Regan Bryan, makes the throw to first. The tag is made. First baseman had to come off to make the catch. It was Stevens, but he turned and made the tag on Fander. No runs, no hits, no errors here in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third now. Wayne leads 9-0 here in the 1A state baseball playoffs here at Dixie State University. Between innings, want to remind you that today's game is brought to you by Royal Food Town, located in Loa, located in the heart of beautiful Wayne County, gateway to Capitol Reef National Park. We enjoy our regular customers as well as the many tourists that support the store. We love the community and look forward to serving your future needs. They offer a large variety of recipes on their website at royalfoodtown.com. That's Royal Food Town, located in the heart of beautiful Wayne County in Loa, gateway to Capitol Reef National Park. Visit their website, royalfoodtown.com, for a large variety of recipes. Today's game also brought to you by Brown Brothers Construction, offering road construction, excavation, sand and gravel sales, trucking and transporting. Also named the 2013 National Finalist Contractor of the Year. That's Brown Brothers Construction. Also want to thank Bryan Farm Services, your True Value store in Loa. Check out their website at bryanfarmservice.com for October month specials. That's Bryan Farm Services at bryanfarmservice.com for all the October month specials. Thank all of our great sponsors here. We'll get one more. Toscanos, gourmet pizzas, big wraps, fresh salads, soups, smoothies, and espresso bar. Use organic coffee beans for our lattes, cappuccinos, and frappuccinos. Kai Tea, Tazo Herbal Teas, Mediterranean Atmosphere. Open Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. Open year-round. That's Toscanos, another one of our great sponsors here at the 1A State Baseball Playoffs in St. George, Utah. Leading things off for the Badgers in the bottom of the third will be Brig Blackburn. First pitch in for a strike. 0-1 now the count to Blackburn. And Blackburn will step out of the box and reset here for the 0-1 pitch. This one swung foul down the first base line. 1-1. 0-2 now the count, excuse me, to Blackburn. Chance Vander still on the mound for Green River. He fires this one. Blackburn grounder right to the first baseman. Mendez fields the grounder and steps on his bag for the first out of the inning.
The shortstop, number 5, Jaden Ellett.
That'll bring up the first baseman. Excuse me, the shortstop, Jaden Ellett. Can't read my own handwriting on my book here. Ellett waits for the first pitch, and it's right down the middle for strike one. 0-1 now, the count to Ellett. Vander fires low and in the dirt. Ball one, 1-1 now, the count to Jaden Ellett. And also in talking to Coach Tom Hughes for Green River yesterday, he told me one problem our team has is we have one inning where we give up a bunch of runs, and that played out in the first inning. Ground to the shortstop. Escalante makes the play, throws to first. One hops it, but Mendez able to make the play. So 2 up, 2 down so far for Wayne.
Number 7, Braden Bryan.
That brings up the center fielder, Braden Bryan. But really, as I talked to Coach Hughes yesterday, he really lamented the fact that there have been many games this season. There's just been that one inning that has kept his team from winning more games. And you look at the first inning. This first pitch now outside for ball 1 to Braden Bryan. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch down in the dirt, ball 2. Also had a chance to catch up with head coach Scott Ellett for Wayne yesterday and give you some of his thoughts on today's game as we get going a little further into the game. Vander fires this one, popped up. Third baseman's going to come over. That's Shumway. Comes over, makes the play. 3 up, 3 down for Green River. It's progress. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after 3 complete, it's 9-0 for Wayne, leading Green River here in the first game of the first semifinal of the 2014 1A State Baseball Playoffs here in St. George, Utah. Today's game brought to you by Loa Builders Supply, offering high-quality tools and supplies to help you with all of your projects. We carry everything you need to get your project done right and done fast. If you aren't finding what you're looking for, we will special order it for you. Here's just some of the departments you will find at Loa Builders Supply: building materials, builders hardware, hardware and fasteners, electrical, plumbing, and lumber. Just a few of the great things they offer at Loa Builders Supplies. Another one of our great sponsors here at the 2014 1A State Baseball Playoffs. Today's game also brought to you by Chuck Wagon Restaurant and Torrey, offering a deli. A brand new deli has hot and cold sandwiches and a great selection of food for your drive or hike in the Capitol Reef area. Also offering groceries, full grocery selection with fresh produce and meats, large sporting goods section, film, ice and batteries, and a bakery. If you like the smell of fresh baked cookies, then start your day off with a trip to the bakery at Chuck Wagon General Store. Fresh pastries, bread, and all sorts of tasty stuff to add to the fun of the day. That's Chuck Wagon Restaurant in Torrey. Game also brought to you by the Red Cliffs Restaurant in Torrey. Come by today and see Tina the Tourist on their Facebook page for great food. Saw a picture of the Thai chicken salad that looked great. Wonderful burgers and anything else you want as you enjoy the beautiful scenery. Fantastic reviews online, so check them out. Red Cliffs Restaurant in Torrey. So going to the top of the 4th. Green River trying to get something on the board, trying to get anything going here in the top of the 4th.
Number 30, Nick Corrigan.
And I'll bring up the second baseman, Nick Corrigan, to lead things off. In the top of the 4th, Dindy still on the mound for Wayne. First pitch high and inside for ball 1 to Corrigan. Want to know now the count to Corrigan. Pitch comes in inside. For a ball. 2-0 now the count to Corrigan. This one's strung on, driven to left field. It'll be Landon Chappell, settles under it and makes the grab for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 4th.
Now batting, the catcher, number 15.
Brings up the catcher, Joe Serafin. Serafin, ground ball down the third base line. It stays in play, and Serafin's on with the single. So Joe Serafin with a 1-out single. Burns it down the third base line.
0-0, Hunter.
And that brings up Hunter Jones. Jones drew a walk. In his first at bat. Did they make a change somewhere? So Serafin on first. Hunter Jones in the batter's box. He walked in his first at bat. This one high for ball 1. 1-0 now the count to Jones. 1 out. 1 on, 1 out for the Pirates in the top of the 4th. Trying to get some runs across. Trailing 9-0. That one right down the middle for strike 1. Jones probably thinking to himself, that was my pitch. Now the count is 1-1. And that one in there for strike 2. 1-2 now the count to Hunter Jones. Drew a ball on the first pitch and then 2 straight strikes from Nate Dindy. That one on the outside corner, but just a little high, and the count goes even at 2-2. Jones waits for it. Fouls it off. He'll stay alive. Count stays at 2-2. As Dindy gets set to fire the pitch. Quick throw over to first. Serafin able to get back in time. Green River wearing black, and Hunter Jones has long sleeves on. It's mid-80s out there. He's got to be sweating bullets at the plate. And he catches the outside corner for strike 3. Hunter Jones goes down looking for the second out of the top of the 4th. John Mendez flew out to the center fielder in his first at bat. He comes on with 1 on and 2 out. Runner goes. It's Serafin. And he's in there. Didn't even have to slide. Was able to scoot around the tag. Jaden Ellett tried to put the tag on him coming over from short. But he's in there. Serafin moves over to second. Runner in scoring position for Green River, and this one driven to into center field. Back, and over the head of center fielder Braden Bryan. 1 run will come around to score. Green River on the board in the top of the fourth. Seraphin scores from second. Mendez on with a double.
Coming to the plate.
As Brian was playing
Number 13,
shallow center,
Jonathan Salinas.
and he turned and tried to make the catch over his head, but it dropped in. And that brings Jonathan Salinas to the plate. Ball 1 to Salinas. 1-0 now the count to Salinas. He went down at a strikeout in his first at bat. This one fouled off for the first strike of the at bat. 1-1 now the count. John Mendez, the senior, with a 2 RBI double, gets his team on the board in the top of the fourth. A pitch high for ball 2. 2-1 now the count to Salinas. That pitch inside. Salinas able to move out of the way. It's ball 3. Three and one now the count to Salinas. Dendy looks back at second and makes Mendez jump back. Now he'll reset and do it all over again. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Salinas wanted that one and chased one high and outside. Now the count goes full. 2 on, 1 out for Green River. Salinas at the plate. Pitch just catches the inside corner. Gets him looking. Strike 3. So Green River gets a run across in the top of the fourth.
The Pirates are retired on 1 run, 2 hits.
With 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors.
Nobody left on.
1 left on in the top of the fourth for Green River. As we go to the bottom of the fourth now, Wayne will come up to bat and try to add to that. Want to thank our great sponsors once again, Country Cafe. Customers say they're the best little cafe this side of anywhere. Serving breakfast all day. You can eat barbecue beef ribs on Sunday evenings and have homemade soup and pies. Also offer daily specials. That's the Country Cafe. Also want to thank M&D Auto Parts and Repair, located at 438 West, 100 North in Bicknell. M&D offers 24-hour towing, and it's an A-plus parts store. You can buy Goodyear tires for your passenger truck, farm, or ATV. Call or stop in for a competitive price quote today. That's 438 West, 100 North in Bicknell. M&D Auto Parts and Repair. Also want to thank the Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse. Invite everyone to come and see us and enjoy our steakhouse before the end of the season. The motel does stay open year-round with a limited menu for breakfast and dinner for our guests. $10 will buy you soup, rolls, beverage, and all the popcorn you can eat while watching the movie Sleepy Hollow in our conference room. Thank you to all those who supported us so well this year. That's the Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse, located on the junction of Highway 12 and 24 in beautiful Torrey, Utah. And finally, want to thank Sunglow Motel and Restaurant in Bicknell. Here's what people are saying about the Sunglow Motel and Restaurant: is that the portions were so generous we were too full for pie. Another customer said, our friend chose a chicken fried steak. He said it was tender and delicious. That's the Sunglow Motel and Restaurant in Bicknell. Just a few more of our great sponsors here at the 2014 1A State Baseball Playoffs in St. George, Utah. It's semifinal number 1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Number 7, Braden Bryan.
Jake Stevens, the first baseman, will lead things off. First pitch outside for ball 1. Second pitch down in the dirt as well for ball 2. Chance Fander still on the mound for Green River. That one driven to the shortstop. It's Escalante, makes the play, throws to first, but not in. No, they're going to say he made it. He got him. I was about ready to say the throw wasn't in time, but they get it to Mendez just in time. They retire the first batter of the inning. And that's 4 straight outs. Now for Green River, went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the third. Now get the first in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Regan Bryan is outside for ball 1. Bryan, the third baseman, walked at his first at bat in the first inning and then had a double in the second inning. That pitch in for strike 1. 1-1 now, the count to Bryan. Fander lets it fly. This one driven into center. TJ Hughes there to make the play. And now 2 up, 2 down.
Coming to the plate.
In the bottom of the fourth.
Number 18, Brendan Robbins.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Brendan Robbins. His 2 at-bats, reached on an error in the first inning. In the second inning, had a single. First pitch to Robbins is in for a strike. 0-1 now the count. Fander gets set for the 0-1 pitch. This one high and inside for ball 1. Count goes to 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Down on the dirt for ball 2. So the 2-1 pitch now to Brendan Robbins. Fander catches the outside corner for strike 2. The count goes even. It's 2-2. Had a chance to catch up with Wayne head coach Scott Ellett yesterday. I asked him who the stars were for his team. I'll tell you his response in just a minute. This one driven down the first base line and foul. Anyway, I asked Coach Ellett yesterday who the stars were for his team, and he was a little taken aback by the question. He said, we're really a team that doesn't really have any star players. We all contribute this year. No one really stands out above the rest. Kind of the team is the star mentality. And Robin fouls that one off. Count stays at 2-2 still. And you've kind of seen that here today, as in the first inning, they went all the way through the lineup. Everybody hit, everybody got on base, almost everybody scored. They lead it 9-1 in the bottom of the fourth now. Robbins dribbles that one to the shortstop. Escalante makes the throw, gets there in time, and 3 up, 3 down once again for Green River. That's 2 straight innings now. Can they add a few more runs here coming up in the top of the 5th and make this thing a little more interesting? After 4 complete, it's Wayne 9, Green River 1 here in the first semifinal game of the 2014 1A state baseball playoffs. Between innings, once again, want to thank a lot of our great sponsors here, starting off with Bryan Auto Parts and Services. We have tires from Cooper, Hankook, Hercules, and other top brands. Call for an appointment or come see us Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Bryan Auto Parts and Service is a place to go for Napa Auto Parts, new tire sales, automotive service, and 24-hour towing in Loa, Utah. Bryan Auto Parts and Service. You call, we haul. Also want to thank Loa Builder Supply, offering high-quality tools and supplies to help with all of your projects. We carry everything you need to get your project done right and done fast. If you aren't finding what you're looking for, we will special order it for you. Offering small engine repair, window repair, and deliveries. If you're a homeowner, contractor, business, or do-it-yourselfer, be sure to check us out for all of your project needs. That's Loa Builder Supply. Yep. Just like my computer. It's burning up over there.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 10, Brad.
Leading things off in the top of the 5th. It'll be the shortstop, Fred Escalante, for Green River. The Pirates find themselves trailing 9-1 in the top of the 5th. Got their first run in the top of the 4th. Have recorded 3 up, 3 down against Wayne in the last 2 innings. Some sense of momentum building just a little bit for Green River. First pitch down in the dirt from Dindy. 1-0 the count. Second pitch outside for ball 2, excuse me. Escalante shows bunt, now pulls it back, and just catches the outside corner, strike 1. 2-1 now the count to Fred Escalante, and his first at bat didn't bat until late in the 2nd inning. He struck out. And that next pitch in for ball 3-1 now the count to Fred Escalante. And that fouled over the bleachers on the first base side and out of play.
A reminder to please return all foul balls to the first base.
Count goes full, 3-2 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Fred Escalante. Nate Dindy gets set to fire the payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4, and Escalante will take his base. He reaches on a walk.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 50.
And for Green River,
Shumway.
they don't care how they get runners on. They just need to get base runners on to try and make this thing a little bit more interesting here in the top of the 5th. Tyrell Shumway, third baseman, had a strikeout in his first at bat. He comes to the plate now. Big cut at that one, but just a little late on it. Strike 1. And that one inside. Gets past the catcher. Escalante will advance. Dindy losing control just a little bit. Shaking his head down there going, I had my live flash before me on that one. Not only did he spun as he jumped out of the way, so he was facing the ball as it came in. 1-1 now the count to Shumway. Escalante advanced to second on the pass ball. Shumway tries to lay down a bunt. It goes foul. 1-2 now the count to Tyrell Shumway. Trying to advance the runners any way they can. Now with 2 strikes, the bunt will be called off, and Shumway will just try and put this thing into play. Nate Dindy on the day. 5 strikeouts. Trying to add to that tally here. Inside for ball 2. Count goes even at 2-2. And he fires. That'll be a foul ball. Shumway just made contact with that one. Count stays at 2-2. Fred Escalante on second. Nobody out. Here in the top of the 5th. And they're going to say Shumway tipped it once again, so he stays alive. Sometimes that's all you can do. Just stay alive at the plate until you find a pitch that you like. The 2-2 pitch high for ball 3. Tyrell Shumway fights back in it. It's a full count. Shumway making Nate Dindy work in this at bat. That pitch inside, but he swung on and tipped it. Seen 2 or 3 different Green River players do that. Ball coming in inside, and as they step out of the box, they swing. Count stays full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Down on the dirt, ball 2. Or excuse me, ball 4, second walk of the inning is what I meant to say there. Tyrell Shumway reaches on by virtue of a walk, the second straight walk. Now you've got 2 on, nobody out, and TJ Hughes, arguably one of Green River's best players, coming to the plate. Hughes so far today ground out to the second baseman and a strikeout. His teammates are thinking this would be a great time for his first hit of the game. Dendy turns and gets Escalante to dive back to second. They'll reset and do it all over again. That one right down the middle, strike 1. 0-1 now the count to Hughes. Again, Hughes started the day off on the mound, but got roughed up and gave up 7 innings. Chance Fander has come in and done a pretty good job since then. And Hughes drives this one to right. Will it get down? No, it does get down. Catch unable to be made. 1 run will come around. Escalante will score. Shumway is going to be held up at third, and TJ Hughes nearly caught up to Shumway. He'll go back to second. So Escalante comes around to score. Shumway is at third, and TJ Hughes.
The pitcher, number 9, Chance Fanders,
is on second. Is that a hit? Hughes in at second with the hit. That'll bring up Chance Fander. And it's 9-2, 2 on, nobody out. Fander with a single and a ground out to the third baseman, his first 2 at bats. Dendy has thrown a pretty good game up to this point. That one catches the outside corner. 1-1 now the count to Fander. That one fouled down the third base line. 1-2 now the count to Chance Fander. But this, if you're Green River, looking to get back into this game, this is your chance. You've already scored 1 run. You've got 2 out, 2 on, nobody out. And one of your better players at the plate. 1-2 the count now to Chance Fander. That ball outside for ball 2. 2-2 the count now to Fander. On third is Tyrell Shumway. On second, it's TJ Hughes. The 2-2 pitch. That'll be popped up to short. Center fielder coming in to back that play up. But Jaden Ellett able to make the grab over at shortstop. And that's the first out of the inning.
coming to the plate, the second baseman, number 30, Nick Corrigan.
And that'll bring up the second baseman, Nick Corrigan. Corrigan reached on an error in the first inning. And then flew out to left in the fourth. That pitch inside for ball 1. Want to know the count now to Corrigan. 2 on, 1 out. Green River looking to capitalize on base runners. Corrigan fouls that one off. Third baseman coming over. It's Regan Bryan, can't make the play. Lost it up in the sun. Had a great break on it. Just didn't come down where he thought it was going to. 1-1 now the count to Corrigan. Dindy trying to get out of this one, only giving up 1 run. The pitch. Corrigan fouls it off. Stays alive at the plate. 1-2 the count to Nick Corrigan. Batting with 2 on and 1 out. And he drives that one to shallow left field. Not sure if that's going to be deep enough for Shumway to get there. The throw. And it hits Shumway. So the run will come across to score, but that ball hit Shumway on his way in. And they're going to let TJ Hughes come in as well. So 2 more runs.
They say he didn't tag. Called him out. He didn't tag up in time.
The lead runner was out, no runs.
And now they're going to say no runs. They're going to say Tyrell Shumway did not tag up in time. As the Wayne players appealed that one, and the umpires went back and looked at it, and they did indeed confirm that Tyrell Shumway did not tag up at third, and so a very disheartening way for Green River to see, instead of getting 2 more runs, they're going to take them off the board. 1 run, no hits, no errors. It's 9-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Wayne 9, Green River 2, and a kind of a strange ending to the inning. To the top half of the 5th inning anyway. Tyrell Shumway was at third, did not tag up in time before the catch was made.
Why does the guy in second go to third and advance home? That was the second out.
As it's 9-2 now, going into the bottom half of the 5th inning. I think it's because the ball passed, went in the dugout.
It actually went out of bounds. It went out of play.
Because it went in the dugout, right?
That's why they sent him home.
You're just joining us. Green River had its best chance of the game to try and make some noise. They scored a run and had 2 more on. So those runs need to come off the board then, right?
One run needs to come off the board. One run, that makes it 9-3.
Should just be 9-2.
Because the ball went in the dugout, that's the guy from second to third, and so he got to
Right.
come home.
But they only scored 1 before that.
That was 9-2, and then that guy, that's the man second. I think it should be 9-3.
Well, no, if the guy was out for not tagging up, that would have been the third out of the inning. So I don't think that.
I thought the guy who caught him was the second out, and then they appealed it. That
Oh,
makes it
true
third
that.
out. How do we get it right? 9-3. Got it. Yep. Better runs.
Yeah, see, they're not count either. And we're back here at the Dixie State University, the 2014.
Now batting, the pitcher, number 43, Nathan Denby.
The 2014 1A State Baseball Playoffs. It's Wayne leading Green River 9-2 in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Nate Dendy, the pitcher, will lead things off. And just, again, if you're just joining us, a strange inning. Tyrell Shumway was on third. Nick Corrigan flew out to left. Shumway didn't tag up in time. Couple of runs scored, but take them off the board because Shumway didn't tag up in time. 0-2 now the count to Dendy. And that one down in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 now the count to Nate Dendy. That one outside for ball 2. 2-2 the count, goes back even. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Nate Dendy goes down swinging for the first out of the inning, and that brings up the left fielder, Landon Chappell. Svander gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. Vander. That ball high for ball 2 to Chappell. 2-0 the count now to Landon Chappell. That went up high for ball 3. And that one outside for ball 4. Landon Chappell reaches on a walk to get things started after the strikeout of Nate Dindy. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brock Brinkerhoff. And Brinkerhoff pops that one up. 3 players converging on it. Who's going to make the play? Nobody makes the play. Gets past the outstretched glove of Mendez. And Brinkerhoff is on safe at first. Chappell advances to second.
Now batting for the Badgers, the catcher, number 6, Brig Blackburn.
And that brings up the top of the order, the catcher, Brig Blackburn, in his 3 at-bats today. Started things off with a single and then popped out to the second baseman and grounded out to the first baseman. 1 of 3 so far today. That one driven into right field. 1 run will score. Chappell will come around and score from second. Brinkerhoff will move to third, and Blackburn on with another single.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Jaden Ellett.
Run rule after 5. That makes the score 10-2, and just a reminder, if a team is doubled up after 5 innings, if they can stretch the lead to 10 runs here, the game will be over. That brings up Jaden Ellett, the shortstop. And that one pop up to Mendez, makes the catch, and a double play. And that'll end the inning. Blackburn must not have thought that Mendez could make that play because he just took off running, didn't tag up, so he's thrown out.
1 run, 2 hits.
Ellett pops out to the first baseman
The score,
for the second out, and then Blackburn thrown out at first for the third out. So 1 run scores. It's 10-2. Green River lives to play another inning. After 5 complete, it's Wayne 10, Green River 2. I want to thank some of our great sponsors. First, Royal Food Town in Loa, located in the heart of beautiful Wayne County, gateway to Capitol Reef National Park. Enjoy our regular customers as well as the many tourists that support our store. We love this community and look forward to serving your future needs. Royal Food Town offering a large variety of recipes on their website at royalfoodtown.com. Also want to thank Brown Brothers Construction, working in road construction, excavation, sand and gravel sales, trucking, and transporting. A 2013 National Finalist Contractor of the Year. It's Brown Brothers Construction, supporting the 1A State Baseball Playoffs and the live stream here on DeseretNews.com.
But it bounces off of his helmet, which is fine, and ends up in the dugout.
Also want to thank Bryan Farm Services, your true value store in Loa. Check out their website at bryanfarmservice.com. That's bryanfarmservice.com for October month specials. Bryan Farm Services. And I also want to thank Toscanos, open Monday through Friday from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. open year-round. Go over to Toscanos to grab gourmet pizzas, big wraps, fresh salad, soup, smoothies, and espresso bar. Toscanos. Also want to thank Cache Valley Bank, full service agricultural, SBA, commercial and consumer lender with internet banking and mobile banking, full service mortgage lender. And the mobile banking, they do have the mobile app now there. You can download it, make a mobile deposit, do anything and everything with the new mobile app at Cache Valley Bank. Just search Cache Valley Bank either in the iTunes Store or the Google Play Store. You'll be able to find the mobile app. That's Cache Valley Bank, another one of our great sponsors.
You know your Cache Valley Bank.
Yeah, I worked for him for a while.
Now batting, the catcher, number 15,
So
Jones Sarah.
rule out after 5 now. So we would have gotten another couple.
Leading things off for Green River in the top of the 6th, it's Joe Seraphin. That pitch high. Tries to lay down a bunt. Instead, ends up getting a strike as it goes foul. 0-1 now the count to Joe Seraphin, the catcher. And his last at bat had a single. He came around to score the first run of the game for Green River. Seraphin drives this one into left. It's deep. Chappell trying to settle under it. Can't make the catch. Trying to make it over his shoulder. Seraphin to second. He'll be waved to third. And the play's going to be at third. He's called out. And the play really wasn't even close. Seraphin probably should have been held up at second, but at this point you're trying to score runs.
Now batting for the Pirates, the designated
So Seraphin
double zero, Hunter
We figured out what our
Jones.
problem was. We got a good solid string.
thrown out at third for the first out of the inning. Here's Hunter Jones now, the designated hitter. He's got a walk and a strikeout in his 2 at-bats.
So
So we're going to discuss.
So right now, there's some association in Salt Lake that
No,
handles it.
it's a state association for soccer.
Okay.
SUA doesn't fall in that window. We can do
And
one-
Jones fouls that one off
We can have the SUA take over and Travis work for the
I think
SUA.
so.
and failed to note at the start of the top half of the 6th inning here. Pitching change for Wayne as Jones grounds that one right back to the pitcher. It's Regan Bryan. Fields it, and the first baseman has to come off to make the tag.
Which we have
So a poor throw.
numerous different
Yeah, and that's
Hunter Jones will reach on an error.
when he
Coming
was
to the plate,
handed over to the
base,
third
number
baseman.
40,
And that brings up the first baseman, John Mendez, but Regan Bryan
hire Travis as the second.
now pitching for Wayne.
We've got it figured out now, and he's
Just
been
leave
fine
it the
for
way it is now
3 or 4
in
innings.
Region 9.
Okay, so that meeting's taking place and the principals want it.
They do.
Principals and
First pitch to Mendez is down in the dirt, ball 1.
men's soccer.
Hunter Jones is, they've normally replaced him to run, but they're going to keep him in this time.
Getting it right now.
Second pitch is also down in the dirt, ball 2.
If he wants it, accepts it.
I've technically been asked.
Well, he's technically been asked.
Third pitch inside for ball 3.
I know.
Regan Bryan struggling a little bit with control in this at bat.
Mike Mee said, hey, would you be interested in doing this?
The senior,
But by being interested means that you do it.
and they're going to call that one a strike. So 3-1 the count now to John Mendez.
No, it's $100 a school times.
Mendez fly out to center field, and that one's going to go foul. Full count now, 3-2 to Mendez, but Mendez with a fly out to center field and a double
Unless
in his 2 at-bats.
the SUA says we want soccer back, and then we would take it away from the north, and you would form your own organization, and those officials would then have to
And that pitch down in the dirt, ball 4. Mendez will take his base.
take Travis out of the SUA.
Draws a walk. Jones will move over to second.
My personal opinion
So 2 on, 1 out.
Honest,
is to leave it existing.
That brings up the junior right fielder, John Salinas.
Take that on from scratch. Do you think we could even do that? I think it would be better.
Salinas takes a cut at that one for strike 1. 0-1 now the count to Salinas. 2 on, 1 out.
Right across the
Top half of the 6th inning.
Would it be an
Green River.
We can take it in any.
Runners on base, first and second. That one right down the middle for strike 2. And quickly, Salinas, who has struck out in both at bats, finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
How much
This one, low and outside for ball 1.
soccer is
Animal.
it's an animal.
You can see Green River, like Kelly knows about all this or something.
Well, yeah, because soccer used to be part of it.
Ryan fires Salinas.
Just like 3 years ago.
A hit to the third baseman, and he makes the grab.
I hate to say it. Oh, we have a board meeting on the 5th, Travis. I'll let you know. If you have any thoughts before then.
I mean, I would,
The shortstop, number
maybe
10,
you invite him
Fred
in to
Escalante.
Yeah, I'll get with Sean.
And that brings up
see what Sean wants to do.
Fred Escalante,
If Sean's here, we may be able to have a few minutes.
the freshman shortstop. First pitch to Escalante. Down in the dirt
Probably needs to start going and get ready.
for ball one. Escalante will tip that one for strike 2. 1-2 now the count.
Yeah, Matt just went down. Good, I'm glad Matt's working on that.
This is his first one, right?
I believe so, yeah.
That's really good, Travis.
He's on a plate.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pitch comes in and fouled. Count stays at 1-2 to Fred Escalante. 2-1, excuse me.
Peanut gallery.
Oh, you want some peanut M&Ms?
If you got some, yeah, actually. So,
Don't you have the box down there?
not for me, not mine.
A pitch inside for ball 3. 3-1 now the count to Fred Escalante.
I emailed Conley, said there's nothing here to do anything. We're done. Well, Trent wants to put a meeting together.
What?
I talked to Sean. Sean said that's fine.
2-2?
But Conley won't get back with me at all. Have you had any?
Count goes full, and it's 3-2. This one shoots the gap between second and short. Hunter Jones around to score from second, and it's 10-3 Green River.
Which is advantageous to the other two teams.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 50,
outs.
Kyle Shumway.
2 outs. Right?
I don't know. Is there two
Mendez
He just turned around and said 2. 2 outs.
Yeah, he's letting
For the
everybody know.
third time.
That was actually the fourth.
I'm looking at, I'm watching.
that brings Tyrell Shumway up to the plate, the third baseman.
I was watching Tim, not you.
Runners at first and third, 2 outs.
I called, left a message,
Shumway
emailed Conley.
tries this one to left. And Landon Chappell able to make the grab to end the top half of the 6th inning. Both runs would have come across to score if that one would have got over his head, but Chappell made sure he made the grab, and that ends the top of the 6th inning. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error,
I mean, would you recommend we continue?
and it's 10-3 Wayne as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Let it go, and I would let Trent handle it on his own. Trent wants to learn the air with Nate. He wants to take Nate to lunch. It's something that's personal. I mean, if the school wants to pursue it, then they need to rest
that one.
which is their prerogative.
Crossroads is the other one, isn't it? Crossroads, these guys?
Yeah, it's not like Kelly's going to. And the worst part
I want to thank a couple more of our great sponsors. First, Chuck Wagon Restaurant in Torrey. Chuck Wagon Restaurant, they have a deli, groceries, and bakeries. Try out the new deli. Brand new deli has hot and cold sandwiches and a great selection of food for your drive or the hike in Capitol Reef area. That's Chuck Wagon Restaurant in Torrey. Also, Red Cliffs Restaurant in Torrey. Come by today and see Tina the Tourist for great food. The Thai chicken salad is great. Also, wonderful burgers and anything else you want as you enjoy the beautiful scenery. Have fantastic reviews online, so go check out Red Cliffs Restaurant in Torrey. Also want to thank the Country Cafe. Customers have been heard to say that they're the best little cafe this side of anywhere, serving breakfast all day with all-you-can-eat barbecue beef ribs on Sunday evenings and homemade soups and pies. Also offering daily lunch specials. That's Country Cafe. So we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Leading things off for Wayne, leading 10-3. It'll be the center fielder, Braden Bryan.
For the batter,
Yeah, they're on the list, and there's 3 others.
playing center field, number 7, Brady Bryant.
And Marie. No, not Martinez. It's Mary Weller. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Braden Bryan with a walk And then 2 ground outs so far. This one right at third base. Shumway makes the play and throws over to Mendez for the first out of the inning.
I don't even know you had it all the way to
And that brings up Jake Stevens, the first baseman.
Great now. We had just a little issue, but I think we got everything worked out. So.
Did they have any on their end?
Fander's still on the mound.
I think part of what it was, I think it was just a poor camera connection. Every time we get pan over to the third baseline, all of a sudden it just kind of froze. So the connection was there. So we reset it, and it was fine, but we got that figured out somewhere.
0-1 now the count to Stevens. And that one outside for ball 2. Ball 1, excuse me, 1-1 now. The count. Fander. Inside, gets Stevens to foul it off, and it goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jake Stevens.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that pitch just outside for ball 2. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Wayne leads it 10-3 over Green River. Fander to Stevens. Stevens fouls it off. Count stays at 2-2.
Well, I need to get there anyway.
Fander settles back onto the mound. Stevens is in the box, and here we go again. The 2-2 pitch to Stevens. Outside for ball 3. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jake Stevens. Pitch from Fander. Swing and a miss. He gets Stevens swinging for his 2nd strikeout of the game. That brings up Regan Bryan. Started at 3rd and is now pitching is Regan Bryan. First pitch to Bryan, ball 1. 1-0 now the count to Regan Bryan. That down the middle. He takes the strike. 1-1 now the count to Regan Bryan. And that one fouled off. 1-2 the count to Regan Bryan.
That's my opinion. That's my 10 cents.
Bottom half of the 6th inning. If Green River can get the out here, then we'll go to the 7th inning, and Green River will be down to its final 3 outs. As Bryan fouls that one off. Beautiful day in St. George, Utah. A lot of these teams coming from places that are much colder climates. They're going to enjoy the sun here. That ball up for ball 2.
So what you're saying is you accept?
2-2 pitch now to Regan Bryan. High for ball 3. As Fander
It's not really that many games.
Thanks, John. Appreciate
John, see about that.
gets set to deliver the full count pitch. The 3-2. Swung on, driven deep to left. That's back.
out of here.
And foul. Shortstop Escalante doesn't see that it was foul yet. He's trying to play the cutoff man, but that was deep. That was to the track. And foul on the warning track. So after all that, the count stays full at 3-2. And they'll get set to do it again. Here's the pitch from Fander. Swing and a miss. He gets Regan Bryan swinging. 2 straight strikeouts for Chase Fander. And we go to the 7th inning. After 6 complete, Wayne still leads it 10-3. Green River will be down to its final 3 outs. Can they come up with a big inning and keep this thing going, or will their season end? We'll find out next here at the 1A State Baseball Tournament in St. George, Utah. I want to thank more of our great sponsors. I want to thank the Broken Spur Inn and Steakhouse, located at the junction of Highway 12 and 24 in beautiful Torrey, Utah, up on the mesa, where they have the best views in town. The gateway to the Capitol Reef National Park, with 50 spacious rooms, a steakhouse, conference center, indoor swimming pool and hot tub, and a beauty salon. Invite everyone to come and see us and enjoy our indoor swimming pool and hot tub, as well as the steakhouse before the end of the season.
At Leshwell Tires, they're proud to offer price, value, and selection, backed with quality customer service. When you drive in, they come running.
Also want to thank M&D Auto Parts and Repair, located at 438 West 100 North in Bicknell. M&D offers 24 hours towing, A-plus parts store. You can buy Goodyear tires for your passenger truck, farm, or ATV vehicle. Call or stop in for a competitive price quote today. That's M&D Auto Parts and Repair, located at 438 West 100 North in Bicknell. Finally, want to thank the Sunglow Motel and Restaurant in Bicknell. Here's what the customers are saying. One friend said, tried the chicken fried steak and it was tender and delicious. Another said, the portions were generous. We were too full for pie after. I know I usually have that problem when I go out to eat. I eat too much and there's just no room left for dessert. But go and try the Sunglow Motel and Restaurant in Bicknell. As we get set, we go to the 7th inning. Here in St. George, Utah, a game it looked like it might end by the 10-run rule a couple of innings ago, but Green River able to do just enough to stay alive in this one. And leading things off for Green River in the top of the 7th, it'll be TJ Hughes.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 8, TJ.
Started on the mound, had a rough go, and now he's in center field. He's got a single, a strikeout, and a ground out to the second baseman to his name today. First pitch from Regan Bryant, curves in there. That ball had some movement on it. 0-1 now the count, as Green River down to its final 3 outs. That pitch just outside for ball 1. 1-1 now the count to Hughes. Excuse me, that is not Regan Bryant out there. It's another pitching change has been made. That's Landon Chappell. Landon Chappell, the pitcher, now on the mound for Wayne. Count at 2-1 now to Hughes. A ball up high for ball 3. 3-1 now. And that ball is out of the strike zone for ball 4. TJ Hughes reaches on a walk. And that brings on the pitcher, Chance Fander, the senior. With the single in the first inning, since then he's grounded out the third and popped up to the shortstop. What will he do here? And this one popped up, first baseman coming over, that's Stevens. And it's too far out of play for Stevens to try and make a play on it. Fander goes down in the count, 0-1. Want to thank Bryan Auto Parts and Service. It's your place to go for Napa Auto Parts, new tire sales, automotive service, and 24-hour towing in Loa, Utah. You call, we haul. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's Bryan Auto Parts and Service in Loa. Chappell fires this one and it gets past the catcher. TJ Hughes will advance to second. Gets past Blackburn. So Green River now with runner in scoring position, nobody out. 1-1 now to Fander. Fander fouls that one off. It'll go to 1-2. Remind you, we've got another game coming up in just a few minutes upon the conclusion of this game. It'll be Valley and Tabiona. Slotted for a 2 p.m. start. Probably won't start right at 2, but we'll have that game right here for you as well. Count at 2-2 now. Also remind you, we'll have the championship game tomorrow at 12, excuse me. Fander swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Nick Corrigan.
Coming to the plate.
Nick Corrigan, last time he came to the plate, that was that strange inning to the 5th inning when he flew out to left, and Tyrell Shumway swing and a miss there for Corrigan, 0-1. Tyrell Shumway didn't tag up at third and went to score, and then the runners were called out. Probably Green River's best chance to put runs on the board was in that. He only had 1 out, 2 on. Shumway would have scored, and then swing and a miss, 0-2 now the count. Another player would have also scored. It would have been Hughes from second after the ball passed into the dugout, but because Shumway didn't tag up, and so the outs were called. Nick Corrigan getting a couple words of encouragement from the third base coach. Again, remind you, we'll have the championship game right here tomorrow at noon. The winner of this one will take on the winner of Valley and Tabiona. That pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 now the count to Corrigan. And the way it's looking now, it looks like it'll be Wayne taking on the River of Valley and Tabiona tomorrow at noon. That pitch down in the dirt for ball 2. Corrigan able to get a bat on it. First baseman Jake Stevens comes over and makes the grab. And that'll bring up the catcher, Joe Seraphin. Green River down to the final out of its season. And Joe Seraphin, the catcher. Had a great hit in his last at bat, but then was thrown out at third trying to stretch it from a double to a single, or double to a triple. The TJ Hughes, after getting on, has been stuck at second. That pitch in for a strike. Count is 1-1 to Joe Seraphin now. That one outside for ball 2.
Well, I'm over the officials.
2-1.
But then we each are assigned state championships. So I was over 2A golf yesterday.
Was it 3A down here too?
Yeah. Kim Monkers was at 3A. So I was over 2A golf, and then I'm over this.
There's the pitch. Seraphin flies to right, and the catch is made, and Wayne takes the victory. Center fielder has to jog back and get his hat, but there it is. So that'll end it. A valiant effort from Green River. Had chances to put more runs on the board, but left them on. But Wayne advancing to the championship game tomorrow at noon. They'll face the winner of Valley and Tabiona. That game we'll have right here in approximately 30 minutes. We'll have that game for you. It's Valley and Tabiona coming up next. But for now, Wayne wins the first semifinal by a score of 10-3. The Wayne Badgers defeat the Green River Pirates. They'll play tomorrow at noon. The winner of Valley and Tabiona. I'm Carrick Segma. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in approximately 30 minutes for the start of the Valley and Tabiona game. Semifinal number 2 here at Dixie State University in the 1A state playoffs in 2014.